Fire up Mason Rudolph if you're absolutely desperate. Shouldn't be that
Don't
desperate.
fire up Mason Rudolph,
Don't
even if
fire
you're
him up.
desperate.
Don't
Throw
fire
it for
him.
300.
Yeah, don't fire. Bengals at Browns. Cover your mouth. They won't just steal your order.
He has been quarterback 11 or higher 3 of the last 4 weeks. And everybody hates on this guy. It is Danny Dimes.
I'm hanging up right now. I can't believe it. I'm hanging up.
Welcome in, boys.
What up, what up?
I love that hat, by the way. That's fantastic.
You like that? You like
I
that?
do like that.
You like
I
that?
do like that.
Kirk Cousins doesn't like that because Buddy is
About to be a free agent in March.
about to get cut. No,
might-
how much cap space they got to eat on that? I can't imagine they're gonna cut him.
It's high.
He's talked about
It's a
retiring.
lot.
Wow.
I don't blame him if he does.
Why not? The
Yeah.
league keeps giving him free money.
Yeah, right. Well,
He's the new
good-
Sam Bradford.
oh gosh, he's way better than Sam Bradford ever was, though, right? I mean, come on. With that, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on into WPF, the When Pigs Can Fly Fantasy Football Show. We are your hosts of the show. I'm Sal Adams. That's Corey Lamberts, and he is the Wesley Bryant. Hey, we're all back together again. Thank you,
We
Wesley,
are.
for holding the fort down amidst the last week or so. We don't deserve you.
I tried.
Yep. Appreciate
Merry
that.
Christmas Eve, boys.
Yeah,
Merry
Christmas
Christmas
Eve. Hey, did y'all start your Christmas shopping yet?
I'm thinking about it.
I got time.
Yeah, I didn't a
Almost done.
little bit of time yet.
Amazon still does overnight delivery. It's fine.
That's right, baby.
Did you like that post?
Yeah, no, I gotta do a little last minute wrapping, but we are all
Do you need a beat?
yeah. Go ahead, drop it on me.
Never mind.
Yeah, I think it's best we avoid that one on the show. So it's week 17, gentlemen. That
It
means
is.
fantasy football championship week for most of you. At least, well, probably just 2 guys in every league. Some fantasy football shows have 3 guys and 2 of them are in the championship. It means one of them's not. Don't look
Everybody
like
knows. Everyone knows.
He's
Baby, come back.
Yeah. There's always next year. Somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. But with that, Christmas games 2 tomorrow. We've got Thursday night's game. We've got some on Saturday. We've got normal Sunday games. It is an awesome week to be an NFL football fan.
We'll be back for the picks for Sunday games and Saturday and Sunday games, actually.
Yeah. Yep. We're gonna have to do that.
It is the time of year that a lot of shows take a break.
Not this show.
We
Not
got
this
you.
show. No, we're still here. We're in my opinion, we're going strong right through the playoffs. We're gonna, even if we transition away from fantasy and just talk football.
Yeah.
I'm all about
Yeah.
it.
Oh, 100%.
We're big football fans here on the WPF show, so we're not going anywhere, at least not yet. So tonight on the show we have Duds and Duds from this last week. We're going to talk Christmas Day football picks and locks. We're going to talk Thursday night picks and locks as well. We're going to leave Saturday for the next show. And we're going to discuss the playoff picture of our home league and what we think will happen in the big dance. All that, maybe a little bit more. So let's buckle on up, ladies and gentlemen, because the WPF crew is about to take flight.
And we're back.
Oh gosh, we are back. We are
one.
back. So, do we want to just go right into studs and duds?
Studs and duds right off the rip.
Do we want to just go
Let's
right
do
into it?
Sal, you
I'm
get
fine with
started
that.
because you got the top guy this week.
I did have the top guy this week on my roster, and he is also my quarterback of the week. 44.4 fantasy points. He was QB1, 24 of 39 for 258 yards, 5 touchdowns, 9 carries for 81 yards on top of it. That is an MVP caliber week from a rookie, Jaden Daniels. He is my stud on the week at quarterback. My dud on the week Go ahead.
I was gonna say I stopped watching that game after he threw that pick, even though they had a chance to get the ball back. I stopped watching that. I've come to find out they won. I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
was ecstatic when they won.
Yep. Little out there skelter towards the end, but it wound up working out in their favor. So my dud on the week. We've been trying not to call guys duds when they got injured. I call this guy a dud this week because you are in the conference championships of your home leagues. This is a big deal. If you're in a one quarterback league, this guy absolutely hosed you. If you're in a super flex league or a two quarterback league, it really burned you too. 4.5 fantasy points. He got hurt. Wound up being quarterback 33 on the week, Jalen Hurts. This is a guy that you expected to be a top 5 quarterback week in and week out. He was playing against the Manders, right?
You don't say. Hurts got hurt.
Yeah, they were playing the Manders, and that has been a secondary that's been allowing some good points from quarterbacks. He sold you. Some people, if he would have had a normal game, might not have made the championship this week. So it's unfortunate.
Some being me, because I had a lot of I had a lot of duds this week.
Well, it's for sure. It for sure wasn't me. We know that.
It for sure wasn't Corey. Were you in the toilet bowl? No, you won last week.
Yep.
Who's next?
Go ahead.
I will. I'll go. My stud of the week is actually a guy that I drafted really, 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 really late, and we've all been waiting for him to do something. And as of late, he has. 17 to 26 for 158 yards, 2 touchdowns with 5 carries for 68 yards and a touchdown.
68.
Bryce Young.
Oh,
Bryce Young.
Wow.
31.1 fantasy points, good enough for QB3 on the week. It's a heck of a week. Kids showing up late. I mean,
About time.
I almost called that upset too. The Panthers over the Cardinals, but I was like, I gotta give them some credit. Shouldn't have.
we were hoping. And then my dud of the week is in my eyes, a future Hall of Famer. 14 of 19 for 110 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 3 carries for -9 yards. I imagine those go down as sacks, but because he scrambled out of the pocket, 8 points. QB 31, Matt Stafford.
So
did not have a good week.
We got QBs 31, 32, and 33 on our duds. So my QB stud of the week is number 2 on the week with 31.34 points. Our very own Jared Goff. Again, another stud. 23 for 32, 336 yards, 3 touchdowns. My guy.
I got a lot of love for the deep ball he threw to J-Mo.
Oh my goodness, that was.
I'm notorious for being a Goff hater, but he's been able to shut me up the last few weeks. He's been playing great. I don't hate Goff. I hate the fans.
He went for. He started with Amon-Ra St. Brown stopping for 3 seconds to wait for a ball, to hitting J-Mo in a perfect stride for a touchdown.
That was the most beautiful deep ball I've ever seen him throw.
Yeah. My dud, quarterback dud. Probably didn't expect much out of this guy. I didn't, but he's a dud anyway. Spencer Rattler, 15 for 30, 153 yards, 1 interception, 1 fumble lost, 4.92 points, QB 32 on the week.
That was a brutal game.
Corey, why don't you jump in? You pick next one up.
I'll go to wide receiver because running backs were they had a lot of good running backs this week. But my stud wide receiver was Brian Thomas Jr. 9 catches on 13 targets, even Mac Jones throwing the ball. 132 yards, 1 touchdown, good enough for 28.5 points. Wide receiver 3 on the week. We said last week, and I think the week before, if you have to start a Jaguar and he's the one you got, you probably should.
Fire him up.
Depending on what else you got. But 13 targets, he's getting the ball. And then my dud, everybody hoped he would show up in the playoffs, and thus far he's put up 2 stinkers. 3 for 3, 24 yards, no touchdowns, 5 fantasy points. Wide receiver 67. Cooper Kupp. Where'd he go?
Not startable.
Where are you?
Well, since we're sticking with the, I'll stick with the Lions theme here.
Last week I wanted to give him a break, cut him some slack, because the only person that got any points in their offense was Puka. Puka didn't have he only had 17 this week. Wasn't a bad week, but Cooper Kupp again, nothing. So
He's getting old. Yeah, my stud for wide receiver, Jameson Williams. We just talked about it, 5 for 7, 143 yards, 1 yard short of the leader of the wide receivers and Justin Jefferson this week. He had 1 touchdown, 1 rush for 7 yards, 26 points, running wide receiver 4.
Yeah, when you just to touch on Cup real quick again, it's the targets. It's not necessarily what he's
Target share's
doing with
down.
them. It's targets. 3 last week, 3 this week. Not great.
That'll raise this week, I bet. I would bet anything on it.
Staying in the same division, my dud, Romeo Dobbs. Everyone expected him to do something. He's been pretty good as of late. 2 receptions on 3 targets for 20 yards. That's 4 points. Wide receiver 82.
It's crazy that he did so poorly. Christian Watson got hurt in this game. So you would have thought that he would have got even more looks. Maybe it's because of script, because they were destroying them. Bad. I don't know.
Yeah, it was bad. Where'd all the points go?
It was
Oh,
bad.
you know what? All 3 running backs that played got a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Brooks, Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson? No,
Emmanuel
Wilson.
Wilson. Yep.
And, of course, Josh Jacobs, who the fantasy community's uber upset that he didn't play much in the second half. Great first half, though.
Yeah.
My wide receiver on the week, my stud, this is a surprise to you guys. This guy had 24 fantasy points. He finished at wide receiver 7. Came out of nowhere. 5 catches on 8 targets, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm talking about Olamide Zacchaeus.
Oh, Washington, right?
Washington Commanders.
Yep. Former Atlanta Falcon, for those of you who pay attention.
Somebody write home about this guy. Holy cow, he came out of nowhere. If for some reason you started him in your lineup this last week, you were grateful. I'm not sure if this is somebody you want to continue to ride out this week in the championship game. But, man, if you need somebody.
Bro, I was looking on Sleeper for the stats for when we do this, and I forgot to unclick free agents, and I saw like 24 points on the top. I was like, what? Who is this guy? And nobody has him.
Yeah, it's Olamide. Whatever, however
I
you say
think he
that.
was didn't he play for the Vikings before at one point too?
I don't know. I'll go down that rabbit trail.
Yeah. My dud on the week is another that will surprise you. He was wide receiver 83, lowest points in 8 weeks. This was the first time in 8 weeks that he'd had under 6 targets. We were calling this guy hot and a must start. We thought for sure this guy moving ahead was going to be one of our main pieces on our offenses. 3 targets, 2 receptions, 20 yards, 4 fantasy points. I'm talking about Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, another
dud.
Another buy low guy, buy high guy. Whatever. We'll see how he works out next year with his next quarterback.
Hey man, that's all right. I got rid of Cooper Kupp at the right time, and I guess Jerry Jeudy too. So.
And Deebo Samuel.
Yeah,
and he puts off a great week this week. Whatever.
Wesley, it's your turn to go first.
I will go with running back since we just kind of talked about this guy. Josh Jacobs, 13 rushes for 69 yards, a touchdown, 4 receptions on 4 targets, 38 yards. Pulled at halftime. He got a little banged up, but he was good to go back in. But they decided it's not worth it. We're destroying this team. He had 20.7 points. He was RB12 on the week for only playing half a game. And my dud.
That's a stud.
Yeah. And my dud, everyone thought he was going to jump right back in and do his little thing, his little muscle hamster thing he does, but he's not looking too hot. Isaiah Pacheco, 9 rushes, 26 yards, 1 receptions on 2 targets for -1 yards, 3.5 points, running back 55 on the week. He's like a double-edged sword. Not only is he not putting up numbers, he's taken away from Kareem Hunt. You can't start either one of them. You can't trust
You really can't. I'll jump in. My running back stud on the week had 32.5 fantasy points. He had 25 carries for 152 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the game-winning breakaway in overtime. Chuba Hubbard.
That was awesome game-breaking run. It was amazing.
Chuba Hubbard, and I believe the play right before then, he got a first down as well,
Yep.
which was a massive first down, and it was a good run. Put them in position to win the game because the other team had already had a possession in overtime.
Yep.
So easy field goal, we win the game. No. I'm breaking one free for a tutty, boys. Hold my soda. That's what he said. My dud on the week. Go ahead. What's up, Wes?
No, I got something after Corey says his stud.
My dud on the week was RB49, 4.2 fantasy points. He had 9 carries for 42 yards. He didn't have a reception on his sole target. Najee Harris.
You guys been dud a couple times now.
Sold him at the right time too, I guess.
Chewy.
I apologize for my lack of discussion on the last your guys' studs and duds real quick. I had a small family issue that I had to take care of real quick.
I'm offended.
But anyway, the my stud this week was none other than, and everybody should know this by now, Jonathan Taylor finally having the week that we've been waiting for 2 years now. 29 carries, 218 yards, 3 touchdowns, 39.8 points. Running back 1 on the week.
Who did they play?
Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Was it Jags?
They played the Titans.
I think it was the Titans, yeah.
Oh, with that being said, I want to interject before you get to your dud. 2 honorable mentions I want to say for running backs that haven't looked too hot lately, but had great games. Jerome Ford of Cleveland, 24 points, 22 on 94. And Tajay Spears, 22 points.
Yeah.
10 rushes, 27 yards. What did he even do?
Is that 4 straight?
2 touchdowns, 3 receptions, 4 targets, 39 yards.
Is that 4 straight weeks that he's had? Or 3 straight weeks? Tajay's had. Yeah.
That is.
But you got to pull it up right there.
2. This is back the last 2. Cincinnati and Indianapolis.
Okay.
Yep. He had a great week last week. 27.2 points.
Yeah. If you have him, keep a close eye on it.
Back-to-back weeks with 2 touchdowns. Tajay Spears.
Yep. It's unfortunate.
Okay, it's not going to happen next week.
No, probably not. But keep an eye on it. And my dud this week, 2.4 yards per carry. Not going to get it done. Not in the fantasy playoffs anyway. 10 carries for 24 yards, 2 catches on 3 targets, 17 yards. No touchdowns. 2.1 fantasy points. Running back 66. None other than your boy's teammate, Brian Robinson. Not a good week. Not a good week.
Tight ends.
So.
I can jump right in.
Sal?
Oh, go ahead.
I can, yeah, go ahead.
Tight end 2 on the week, 19.1 fantasy points. He had 9 receptions on 11 targets, 81 yards, and a 2-point conversion. Talking about Chiggy. Getting Chiggy with it.
That's
Okonkwo.
Right. Okonkwo. Titan.
Yeah. My dud on the week, tight end 27.
Spider-Man thing. Whatever.
Tight end 27. He had 5 fantasy points. He had 5 targets, 3 receptions, 20 yards. This is a guy that has been a turnkey starter for you this year. When you're in the playoffs, you expect him to perform. Dud on the week for me, Trey McBride.
Yikes.
Goodness.
Go ahead, Corey.
Yikes. This guy's been a household name since he got drafted, and was the tight end 1 coming out of the draft. Brock Bowers.
Oh, yeah.
Week after week after week after week. Some analysts are calling him already the tight end 1 in all of Dynasty. And he keeps putting up reasons why to do it, but
Not this
I don't know if I'd crown him yet. 11 catches, 13 targets, 99 yards. Didn't get a touchdown, but good enough for 20.9 fantasy points. Was the tight end 1 this week. I don't know, man. Laporta did the same kind of stuff last year, and we saw him fall off.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I mean, facts are facts. They don't care about your feelings. We love him because he's on our team, but
okay, Ben.
And then my dud this week, who was my stud last week, 2 catches on 4 targets, 22 yards, 4.2 fantasy points, tight end 41, Brenton Strange. Tons of points last week, 4 points this week.
Because Brian Thomas is getting all the looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting all of them. Yeah, but he had 13 targets last week too. Thomas did.
My tight end stud, your boy, George Kittle. 8 receptions, 9 targets, 106 yards. However many points, whatever league you play in, tight end 3 on the week. I'm not doing the math. My
That's
dud,
fine.
the old Lion, now Minnesota Viking, TJ Hawkinson. 2 receptions on 5 targets, 27 yards. Tight end 31 on the week.
Oof.
I believe that's it for the studs and duds.
Yeah, it is. Whew,
You all right?
excuse me. Yeah, I
Yeah,
coughed a little bit. I muted myself so you didn't have to hear that.
Jingle bells.
Shall we move into Wednesday night games?
Christmas games.
I think we should.
Wednesday
we
day
should.
games. We got one at 1 and one at 4:30. First up
Well,
on
first up,
Netflix. Good luck
Ne-
being able to watch these games, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if you tried to watch the Paul versus Tyson fight on Netflix, but
Right.
it was tough to watch.
yeah,
Maybe Netflix figured it out.
yeah. First
Kansas
of all,
City.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
It's
Merry
not
Christmas.
midnight yet. Okay.
It's
It will be.
Christmas Eve.
What's going to be more popular, NFL or NBA on Christmas Day?
NBA, unfortunately.
Oh, isn't it always?
I don't want to say unfortunately because I love the NBA, but it's on Netflix.
True. You're right. NBA is on your regular cable or TNT
What,
and all that
TNT?
stuff.
I think it's on
NBC and everybody
ABC.
else?
Yeah.
Okay.
First game, Kansas City at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh coming off of a loss this last week against Baltimore. Kansas City coming off of another win.
That they shouldn't have had.
Wait, did they actually win this one deciding fashion this time?
I think so.
I feel like they did.
Yeah, they beat him by like 8 points. It was Houston, right? Yeah.
What you got, Sal? What's your pick?
I am taking the Pittsburgh Steelers to win at home and stop the Kansas City Chiefs streak. Pittsburgh's tough to beat. They've got to win one. I think it's the last 2 weeks they haven't performed great. I don't think Kansas City is that great of a football team. I think they're good, not great. I don't see the Steelers dropping 3 in a row. I think if the Steelers lose this one, they're going to lose again next week against the Bengals.
Finish off the season 4 straight losses.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't think they're doing it. I think they win here. My locks in this game are going to be Pickens, who's healthy.
Yes, he
Finally
is.
Pickens.
Off the injury report.
He is back.
And my other lock on this game is going to be Mr. Travis Kelce.
Well, what he said. Go ahead, Corey. Literally, my locks is
Xavier Worthy
Kelsey
question
and
mark?
Pickens, and I said Steelers are winning at home.
As much as I would love the Steelers to win this game, it's not part of the NFL's season script. Chiefs are going to win.
Here we go.
You guys have heard it from me all season about coaching and the refs, especially with the Chiefs. It's the refs, but somehow, some way, they'll figure out a way to. It might not look key or pivotal in the fourth quarter, but at some point, they're going to get something that's going to steal the momentum from the Steelers. Chiefs are going to win this game, even in Pittsburgh. Sorry, Pittsburgh faithful. And my my locks. I was hesitant to make this lock for the Chiefs. Is Xavier Worthy's had back-to-back good weeks. See if he can do it 3 in a row. And George Pickens. George Pickens is my lock for the Steelers. So
Clean sweep on us picking George Pickens. So
yep,
picking Pickens.
might be a
Baltimore,
reason why they lost the last 2 because he wasn't there.
Baltimore at Houston.
Yeah, him being back makes a world of difference.
Oh yeah,
I'll go first.
Please do.
Ravens are visiting Houston Texans, and Ravens are going to win. They got too much going on there. I got Lamar Jackson. He looks too comfortable. He's gonna run up the score. He's gonna do whatever he can to move, be mobile, throw it when he has to, scramble when he has to. That's my lock for Ravens. My lock for Texans is gonna be Nico Collins. I told you before, if he's healthy, he's playing on the Texans. He's my lock.
Sal?
I'm taking the Ravens to win this game as well. I believe they're 10-5 on the season so far. We're looking at the Texans being 9-6. I think these are both good teams. I think Baltimore's a little bit better. Houston is a little banged up. They've lost two of their major wide receivers. By the way, let's throw the guy that injured Tank Dell onto the duds list from this last week. That was horrible. Prayers up for him.
Yep.
My studs in this game are going to be Lamar Jackson. That's too easy. Mark Andrews and Nico Collins.
Okay.
Well played. Well played. I as well. I'm going to pick the Ravens. As much as I'd love the Texans to win here, I don't think that they can. I know they're going to. Hopefully, they play their butts off for Tank.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Seriously, did their Santa Claus?
But the Ravens are going to win this game. They are essentially they have the MVP on that team. So,
Yeah.
in my opinion,
Please,
not
I don't
Derrick
think it's
Henry
much,
have
but-
a huge game. Please, Derrick Henry have a
my
huge
locks this week for the Ravens Texans game is Rashad Bateman and Dalton Schultz.
Don't worry about locking them this week, ladies and gentlemen. Chances are, if you are in the championship, you don't have those two guys on your roster.
Correct. More than likely, correct.
game. Oh boy.
I was banking on you both picking Lamar and Nico, so I had to go another way.
Thursday night. Where we going, Sal?
I'll be honest. Did neither of you pick Joe Mixon? I'm surprised he wasn't a
I
lock.
thought he was
Correct.
about to be, but it's Ravens. I feel like they got a
It's
pretty
Ravens.
decent-
They've got a great defense, truly. Thursday night, Seattle at Chicago. This is. I don't love watching games on Amazon Prime either, if I'm
I
honest.
don't like watching games
Um,
either.
Either.
Eberflus? Oh wait, he's gone. But
Let's throw up in my mouth a little bit.
I think Seattle's going to kick their butts.
same.
Jackson Smith and Jigba is on my radar for locks.
I always pick my guys. You always go before me and pick my guys. That's okay. That's an easy pick. Kind of like those Mega Millions tonight.
And I think that Keenan Allen is a good lock this week.
I got Seahawks winning at the Bears. My picks are Jackson Smith and Jigba and Keenan Allen.
They're great picks.
Seahawks need to win this game and try to get back in front of the Rams.
They have to.
The Rams are one game up on them right now. They got 2 games to go. So
And the Rams play at home against the Cardinals this week, so Seattle has to win.
yeah, big couple games.
Yep. I picked the Seahawks to win this game. I think I only picked the Bears once this year, and I think they lost that game anyway. Seahawks are going to win this game. They need to win this game. And before the news came out that Kenneth Walker did not practice today and is possibly not going to suit up tomorrow
I did not
or
know that.
Thursday's game, did not practice today. Did not practice at all this week, actually. So Charbonnet might
Only
be
Tuesday.
starting. Well, hey, man.
Monday's
Whatever.
usually walkthroughs, right?
Usually, yeah, but I don't even think he participated.
No, I thought they said that. I didn't know. Maybe you read more than me. I didn't
Anyway,
know.
I did select Walker as my lock for this week, but now that news came out after I had already submitted my picks to my co-hosts here, I'm actually going to change it to DK Metcalf.
That's a great lock.
He showed up big last week.
Did he?
Yeah, he had a pretty big week, or at least showed up early. And then I didn't realize this until after I'm looking at it now in front of me, that I also locked DJ Moore.
Good luck.
Getting targets, not doing a lot with him lately, but I think guys are going to start rolling towards Keenan, which is going to leave him open now. So I don't think Keenan gets more than 10 points this week.
Dude, listen. Sorry. If Walker doesn't play, you gotta start Charbonnet.
You have to, 100%.
Question.
Answer.
Last week, I believe their third string running back, Kenny McIntosh, got more looks than Zach Charbonnet. If Kenneth
did.
Walker doesn't start, does Kenny McIntosh repeat last week?
Nobody's playing him anyway. Like,
No.
in fantasy. If you're just
I
talking about
agree.
generally,
I
if you're just talking about
agree, but-
generally, like as a football
does-
fan,
Does he cut into Zach Charbonnet's load enough
no,
that Zach Charbonnet doesn't perform this week?
no.
I don't know, man. It's only happened one time where Charbonnet didn't do that well when Kenneth Walker played, but when Kenneth Walker doesn't play, Charbonnet
only
usually
got-
shows up huge.
He only got 4 looks. I'm sorry.
Four
He only got
looks,
4
right? So I mean, it's one of those things. If you made the playoffs or the championship at least, and Charbonnet's on your roster, and Kenneth Walker does not play, I mean, I don't know that there's many guys I wouldn't start him over.
You look at last week, Kenny McIntosh got 4 looks. Zach Charbonnet got 3.
Mm-hmm. Maybe there's something else that happened. I don't know.
I
would think-
agree with you. I'm just throwing the info out there.
Yeah.
For stats' sake, you just look at it. In the last 5 games, he's crested 8 carries one time, and that was against Arizona, where he got 22 carries. He actually went insane. We've got Wesley dropping people. Are you picking up Kenny McIntosh?
No, I'm not touching him. I had too many people on my roster from that trade. I mean,
Oh yeah. All right, that's it. Shall we move on to our league matchup, championship
Yeah.
week?
We should.
oh boy.
I think it's only fair that Corey goes first.
I think I should, considering the two of you are playing each other,
So
Against each other.
championship week.
playing with each other,
That's
playing against each other.
we don't have
Hasn't-
prediction. We don't have
hasn't even
predictions on the week. That's
Hasn't even
weird.
refreshed yet.
Nope,
Um,
because it's overnight. It's into tomorrow.
Well, we can kind of look at it. Look at my team and look at your team.
Yeah, look at your guys' own teams. I can't see. Maybe I can.
Let me go in
on
here.
next week. Yeah, I can't see your thing for next week. League.
Matchup is not yet available. Who wants to throw on a calculator and do this real quick?
I don't know. Well, regardless,
I
based
am
on
predicted 167.
what do you got, Wes? I can't see your guys' stuff next week.
You can't. Matchup
Nope.
not yet available. That's crazy. Yeah. Do your own math.
Anyway, while these guys are figuring it out, regardless of the math, regardless of the players, knowing what we know about Wesley's team and knowing what we know about Sal's team, the number 1 seed squeaked by last week. Had a huge week when he was on bye, so it doesn't really make a difference on that one. The fact of the matter is, I don't know that Wesley has enough, considering the questionable nature of Josh Allen. I think they'll still play him because, like we discussed before the show, the Bills still have a shot at the 1 seed in the AFC somehow.
They don't, do they?
Yes, they do. If they win out and the Chiefs lose out, Bills get the number 1 seed.
They'll both be 14-3.
Correct. And the Bills beat them.
Okay.
Wesley, you're muted.
What'd you say your total was?
167.
Yep, you got me by 10. 157.28.
So just given the nature of that, plus the fact that a lot of his players didn't show up last week, and Wesley or Sal had a heck of a week, eclipsing 200, I think only for the second time in this league
That's
this
what
year.
scares me. That's what scares me.
Yeah, but a lot of the players that you have on your roster are still on teams that are making a playoff push. If they've already made the playoffs or they're completely eliminated, it makes a difference. Some things to think about when you guys make the playoffs in fantasy leagues. It's especially if for some reason you guys end up playing a Week 18 championship game, which I would never recommend.
Yeah.
I got Sal winning the game. Wes, I love you.
That's fine. I was
But
good all
going
year.
down,
It's tough.
Kamara getting hurt. I mean, being the number 1 seed is awesome. It gives you a chance to get a first round bye, but it's sometimes if guys degrade over the season, and sometimes they don't show up, and it just depends. But I don't have a score that Wesley's gonna lose by or Sal's gonna score, whatever, or how close it's gonna be. It's a win or a loss. Either way, and then whoever wins this game, for those of you who don't know this, we actually have a championship belt, and a winner takes it home, gets to keep it for a whole year for bragging rights, and our pot for our buy-in. They
At
get
the
their
very
not
least,
our money, not our pot.
It is. We do live in Michigan.
Yeah, but
We're not the
yeah.
guys for that.
So
at the very least, I don't have to pay for my buy-in next year.
correct.
Yeah, one of the two of us doesn't. Well, both of us don't have to pay for our buy-in next year, regardless. Yep.
Correct. Yep.
Um,
So good luck to both of you. But my opinion hasn't mattered most of the season because my team didn't even make the playoffs and finished last. So
All right, go ahead, Sal. What you got?
I would rather go last.
Okay. Based, I've been leaning Sal all week. Since the games were over, since I saw him destroying the other guy, I think my team's gonna bounce back. I just have a good feeling about Mike Evans bouncing back. Like you said, Josh Allen playing for something. Lamar Jackson, they're all playing for something for the most part. Devontae Adams against Buffalo, that's who knows. I mean, you saw their Bills defense isn't that great. Look what the Rams and the Lions did against them. So
you brought up Mike Evans. If I can hijack for a few seconds,
he needs a lot more yards.
he needs 172.
He's gonna do it.
182 points,
He's
182
gonna
yards
do it.
to get to 1,000.
He didn't have a
You think
great
he does
game
it this
last
week?
week.
180. He has 2 weeks left in the season.
I know, but he didn't have that much
Do you
last
think
week, so he's gonna get force fed the ball.
He needs 182 yards to get to exactly 1,000. You think he gets it this week?
This week, I would love that, but I don't.
Carolina.
I don't think so.
Carolina, then New Orleans, and
I'm
New
hoping
Orleans
so.
doesn't have Marshawn Lattimore anymore.
I'm hoping.
Anyway,
so.
continue. I'm sorry.
No,
Sorry for
I picked
hijacking.
me, and that's why I think I'm hoping for the team to bounce back. I had, like you said, my bye week had over 200 points, and then I had a stinker last week, barely squeaked by because of Jalen Hurts getting hurt. But I'm hopeful that my team bounces back, has a great week. George Kittle is going against Detroit, so that's a little bit concerning, but that might be his only. I'm hoping that's like their number one guy, and he gets whatever touchdowns they might score, or at least gets a lot of yards. So,
having my best week of the season last week or this week really makes me nervous about the upcoming week. Everybody on my team, for the most part, performed to how they should. I've got some matchups that I don't love this week. You having a bad week last week, it's a toxic mixture. I think I would say it's trending down for me. I'm taking Wesley to win this game. I do think it'll be close. Obviously hopeful that I win. Just looking at the matchups, I don't know. I think we both built our roster to be in this spot. We've made a bunch of trades to better ourselves. We've probably done the most of trading pieces away to win this year, our two teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we both have done a lot to deserve it. I think I just like it. I like the matchups you got. I'm taking you to win.
Dude, this has been fun.
Painful to say it.
This
Yeah,
season,
it's been a lot of fun.
This first season, we call it the Dynasty League, but I want to call it When Pigs Can Fly Fantasy Football
That's true.
Dynasty League. This has been awesome. This whole podcasting we got going on, we got a lot more to work on it. Actually, getting it into a podcast. I did one episode. I gotta streamline stuff a little bit better, but yeah, it's been awesome. I'm glad 2 of the 3 of us are in the finals.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
It's crazy.
So, anything else to say?
It's crazy. 2 of the
I'm
3
just
of us
here-
are in the finals, and the other one finished in last place.
Last place.
That's awesome.
Somebody has to.
We literally rounded out the league.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
100%. I will not finish last next year. I already told you guys that. That's not going to happen again. Not next year anyway.
No, you've got a good team, dude. You had a lot of bad bounces.
The worst
this year.
luck
A
ever.
lot of bad
Like,
bounces.
who you played each week, like you'd score high, but you'd play someone who scored higher than you.
Score 150 and your opponent would score 180. It's like, oh, okay, gee,
Sweet.
yeah,
Yep.
tough for you this year, but no, it's been a lot of fun. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where the league goes. I'm excited to see continue to see you guys on the show. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. So just like we said earlier, though, just because the season is ending for us and fantasy football season is ending does not mean football season is ending. We've got a lot of football still to go. So
And we'll probably try to get more people on the show next year when we do it again. I'm talking like this is the last episode. It's not, but I'm just putting that into perspective. It's mainly
might
been
have-
us 3. We might get some new people in here. Just
yeah, just because.
Well, that plus the rookies coming in, off-season workouts, training camps, the draft.
Yeah,
There's
there's a
a
couple
lot
of
of
us. There's a couple of us in this league that are bookworms on rookies. If you guys aren't aware, Shannon has been studying next year's rookies and the year after that. He's already been studying. There's some guys that are in our league that really pay close attention. Corpy is really good at finding super deep sleepers. I don't know how he does that, but he's notorious for finding somebody in like the 5th round. And he's like, yeah, this guy's going to be a stud. And then he doesn't play for a year or 2, and then all of a sudden the guy's a stud. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, Corpy.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
It'd be interesting to get some of those guys in here. And, yeah, we've definitely got a lot left in the tank, I think, this year. We've got, you got to remember, we've got this week, we've got next week, and we've got playoffs.
Mhm.
We're talking football. We're talking
Playoffs.
Lions. Playoffs?
Yeah.
We're talking,
Trying to
all
win a
kinds of
game.
stuff. So, yeah. So, anyways, great show today.
that's it.
Merry
That's it.
Christmas to you
Merry
and
Christmas.
yours.
Go wrap your presents out.
Yeah, I got to
Yeah.
do that. Gentlemen, last minute shopping. It's not too late.
That's
okay.
it. Time to go.
It's too late.
It is.
Y'all
way
have a
too
good
late.
night.
All right.
You
See you,
too.
boys.